what exactly are we trying to protect?
I think that's a very relevant question from my end, and we discussed it also yesterday while preparing for this. So I'd say there's different levels of content protection. Of course, you want to make sure that as far as possible, it is very hard to obtain the content and to make it available to people that shouldn't have access to it. But an increasing number of clients that we've seen are reaching out to us to, it's not about protecting the content, it's about protecting the experience. So if a central part of what you're streaming, of the experience, is how the content is received, it could be about, so one example is you have a racing client, and people are watching the races through an app or through a web browser. And one of the core ideas is this is going to be low latency. Everybody sees the same thing at the same time. Of course, you don't want people getting access if it's not intended to the content, but it's a lot less of a problem because the people, if somebody restreams that and people are on 20 to 40 seconds of latency when they're watching the restream, well, that's a way worse experience. There's a reason to actually watch the stream where it's supposed to be watched and pay for the stream. So that's, I'd say, are you protecting the content or are you protecting the experience?
For a lot of people, it's intrinsically linked. For a lot of brands, it relies on the content itself. High value, high brand awareness content, like the EPL or the NFL that have had a lot of mentions at the show, and the experience around it, because they're giving it to platforms they trust with that. They're giving it to platforms that can enrich it with other experiences, which might be a reason to go to that platform and go in that experience. And piracy just erodes all that because it doesn't quite have the same functionality, it may not have the same quality. But ultimately, I was thinking on the highest level, what we're trying to actually protect is the money, the revenue from this, whether it's your subscriber revenue, the advertising revenue that comes hand in hand with high value content, and like I mentioned, the brand itself, because that's what it's about. So if you're protecting that, you're all in the business of succeeding, I think.
Well, and also we're talking about streams, which is a very broad concept. It could be the latest show, the latest sports, or corporate internal streaming. It could be the latest town hall, it could be the latest earning call, or anything else. And that is super proprietary information. And getting that leaked, or getting that leaked and faked in some way, that could kill companies, major companies. So we're also protecting reputation, image, just like Robin said, branding, and everything else.
Well, and we talked earlier today, too, Olga, about that generative AI where you can take someone's voice and make them say something. So then it's the question of not just protecting the stream itself as it happens, but ultimately making sure that portions of that stream aren't repackaged together to actually make someone say something that they had not intended to or had not actually said. So, Bowman, from your perspective, what are we protecting?
You tell almost everything, but maybe I can add two more components, let's say, in the protection. It's okay, content protection is obviously the most important thing, but we should speak a little bit about a network protection or infrastructure protection, because it's really critical, and also application or player protection with some kind of obfuscation, etc. All those three components are very important if we want to keep the content safe. It's not just, content encryption of the content. We need to have all those three things.